And we are live. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, Louisiana. Thanks for joining Impact Money. Impact Money in the morning. I know every morning, Monday through Friday, on your TVs there via Smart Money Culture TV. I'm coming to you from Washington, D.C. David is in Dublin. He's in Dublin, Ireland. We are the Porter Brothers.
Yes, that's right. Thank you,
How are you, David?
Yes, doing well. Checking
Very
out
good.
things in Ireland. They're on Twitter. They're on fire. They have a vote coming up
Tell me about it. What's the vote coming up?
Yeah, they have to vote on changing their constitution, how it's written, to keep family, or all kinds of different families. So they're debating on what gender roles they're going to play.
Really? So
Yep.
It's not just us.
Of course, they're pushing it in the UK and over here in Ireland pretty hard.
Why is it that we have this? It's like a sickness, I think. It's like a sickness. You know, when I was, I think that we should just be honest with the people, and if they're having some type of, these thoughts like that we should just tell them that, they should probably just go to a church. But I mean, they can also go to a doctor or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a good way to live. I mean, in general. And I mean, I'm easy, guys. You know what I mean? You want to do what you want to do. It's totally fine. I'm easy. But if those types of things are not conducive to a healthy life. And as a society, of course, we want to grow. We want to be on Team Human, as Elon so eloquently said. We want to be on Team Human.
Exactly.
And that is to push. We want to support the families. We want to have big families. We want to do these things. It was actually pretty interesting. I saw on wherever it was. I'm sure it was X that I saw it, but they were in Hungary. If you're a woman and you have over 4 kids, you have no income tax for the rest of your life.
Cool.
Yeah. There's also a bunch of other benefits. They have subsidized loans. You get special,
right,
housing and our mortgage rates and all these types of things.
They look after you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the types of things that you want to be pushing. You know what I mean? It's okay to be whatever you want to be. I don't want to take that away from anything. But as a society, you want to push things that are going to help the society grow.
Yeah, and I can imagine if you're a king or you have a big role in your country, having lots of kids and building your population is the way to go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bruce, have you picked up a new fan here? Here we go. Haha.
Is it live TV?
It's live TV.
Yeah.
Susie and I have known each other for a while.
Who's that?
Matthew, the great Matthew Dixon. He took a screenshot of my thing. Susie has some more hands on his time tuning into the show. I don't know if he's tuning into the show or not, but Susie and I we put together $1 million deal, as a matter of fact, years ago during COVID. So we know each other.
Nice.
And I'm sure sometimes he does tune in. He probably does. I mean, he's got actually, poor guy. He's really, so I think he's over here. Stuck. I don't know, stuck, not stuck, but he's, I think, kind of stuck. He's going to do a little bit of time. That's the deal. And then he's going to get to walk. Jeez. Walk is a relative term. But I don't think they'll let him leave, but I could be wrong. Matt might know more because he's been stationed over there in Dubai.
I mean, so if crypto, they want to do time, it's definitely a case for like a house arrest type.
I mean, come on, like, house arrest or send him to the place with the nice golf course in the background like we have in our background. So this is us golfing here. That's me back there taking a shot. You can see by my great form. But that is in Monaco. Actually, it's south of France. But we drove up Monaco, and yeah, that didn't that stage. Did you take me down just to see if it would? So that course is unbelievable, though. It's a course in the south of France. It'll cost you $1,000 for a 4-top, but it's worth it. Really unbelievable course. And we played out there. We played with Matt, David, and another guy, and we had a really great time. Did we play out there twice, or did we just play once?
I know we played there twice. Was it both? Yeah, I think it was twice with Matt.
I don't know if we played with Matt twice or not. We definitely played twice, and we're gonna play again this year. We're going back to Monte Carlo during the Grand Prix, whether my wife likes it or not. No, I'm kidding. If we don't go to the Grand Prix this year, though, in Monaco, I want to go to the Kentucky Derby. I need to wear my nice, colorful stuff.
You need to get your equestrian day in.
I'll tell you, the Kentucky Derby is a lot of fun. That is a fun one, but it is really nothing compared to Monaco. Monaco is just really special place, really nice. It's really nice. Not everybody there is really nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have that French. They love to treat you like the French do. They're like French on steroids. Oh no, sir, it's not possible. It's not possible.
The little things aren't possible, and the big things aren't possible either.
No. It's not possible. It's their favorite thing to say. It's not possible. It's not possible.
You want? We can't put ice with your soda. It's not possible.
It's not possible, sir. What do you mean? You want? What it was some of the stupid things. I mean, we're talking like little stuff. It's not possible. Nothing's possible. But then you stick your foot pretty far up there behind, and everything is possible. You find out. So Bitcoin is on a big time tear. Big time tear. Bitcoin's going parabolic. It is really, really going. This thing is taking off. It was really kicked off. Well, I mean, it's been going for a while, but our friend there, Michael Saylor, he really kicked off a rally. I think we had some good old institutional grade. We had some institutional grade FOMO into this market. I'm going to share my screen here. Yeah, look at that. That's the hourly, but let's just look at the daily here. Look at that. Boom. Some institutional grade FOMO there, which I think is kind of what happened. Michael Saylor bought another 3,000 Bitcoins. You had these guys realizing that there's really is a limited supply of Bitcoin, and these ETFs need the Bitcoin. So you have some big FOMO in there. It took it up over 57. It's pulled back a little bit as things go, and currently trading at 56,500. Some of the other top currencies. Well, not that we're a top currency. Global is up 10%. When I go to CoinGecko, it just automatically loads that one. But you can see here BNB holding up nicely. Speaking of CZ, it's really flirting, probably going to $1,000 pretty quickly. And we'll have some more in-depth review of these things. But pretty interesting what we have going on. We're going to commercials on Smart Money TV. We'll be back after the commercial with Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon's going to give us a rundown on some of these things here. Natural gas continues its decline, trading near all-time lows there. Pretty interesting what's going on there. Oil unchanged today, 77.58. The Houthis apparently cut the cable, the internet cable in the Red Sea that takes internet to certain parts of Asia. And they said it severely damaged, but it didn't affect that much. So I don't know what that is. I also wonder if it was really the Houthis. It's like one of those things, like, did they really do it? Or was it another Nord Stream job? Hard to say. But that now being a target is going to stink for everybody. Trump talking about Joe Biden's border invasion is destroying our country and killing our citizens. The horrible murder of the 22-year-old Laken Riley at the University of Georgia should have never happened. This monster who took her life illegally entered our country in 2022 and then was released again by radical Democrats in New York after injuring a child. When I am your president, we will immediately seal the border, stop the invasion, and on day one, we will begin the largest deportation operation of illegals, criminals in American history. May God bless Laken Riley and her family. Our prayers are with her. Really horrible what happened to her. Of course, you probably know she was killed, probably worse. I mean, I don't think she was probably just killed. They're not talking about what else happened there, but she probably. Silver is up about 0.5%. Gold is up slightly. Hong Kong Stock Exchange up about 1%. It has, you can see right here, responded to their quantitative easing. They really just started printing money. That kind of kicked off the crypto rally as well. NASDAQ futures are up slightly. Dow futures are flat. Doge, the doggy coin, the Doge is up 12%. Now, as you may know, Elon Musk is getting his all his licenses across the United States and the world so that he can be his money transmitter licenses. People are speculating that doggy coin is going to $1. The doggy coin. And I know it's supposed to be pronounced Dogecoin, but I called it doggy coin for years before anybody ever told me it was Dogecoin, and I can't get over it. It's always going to be doggy coin to me. It's the doggy coin. They got a doggy mascot. It is the doggy coin. One of the favorites, one of the world favorites, really, doggy coin to the moon. I think that I'll tell you what, if Elon Musk starts doing payouts in doggy coin, this thing is going to go freaking parabolic. Solana up 9%, trading at 1. This is even updated now since I typed this out. It's up almost to 112. Still not at its highs over a week ago. Ethereum trading around 32.55, up 6%. Bitcoin 10% on the day. Just look at that, man. That is just great. Of course, Rothschilds has passed away. The man who taxed you, disguised as inflation, Jacob Rothschild, is dead. Him and his family bypassed our government, and they rule us by issuing paper money. They front the paper money to those who allow their scam, raking in 3.8% a year of inflation plus interest. Just to give you an idea of what's happened. So over the last 60 years, many of you have been alive for 60 years. Some of you haven't. But over that time, what an item that cost $100 in 1960 costs $1,000 now. And despite what they told you in school, and despite what they told you your whole life, inflation is not natural. Inflation is not good. Inflation is a tax. It's a theft. And the Rothschilds family, along with the Rockefellers and some of the other ones, have been taxing you with no representation. And you've been lied to about it your whole life. And now people are starting to figure out the scam. They're starting to figure out the scam. And I think we may change it. David, you got to start reminding me to go live on Instagram because I always forget.
Yeah, well, now we have access to all this information, so people are starting to hear it. And we were lucky to hear it as kids, but it's good to see people waking up.
It is. Talking about the markets, we have with us here Matt Dixon, Sir Matt, the great Baron. No, Sir Matt Dixon. What's going on, sir?
Good morning. I'm just pulling up Doggy Coin for you.
Oh man, it's one of my favorites. I can't get enough of Doggy Coin. You know, if I had kept all my Doggy Coin I had back in the day,
Well, I'll just let me just tune in and get that. So yeah, it's been what a day for, well, what a day, what a night for Bitcoin. So I had my target, didn't I, of, and I'm just going to present. So I had my target of 55,000.
Yep.
We've gone past that, and I want to show you the exact reason why, why it went past, and where I think we're heading now. So hopefully you can see my screen, starting with Dogecoin.
The doggy coin.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. So Dogecoin looks to me as though actually, yes, it may go to those crazy highs that were all that's been anticipated. But at the moment, you can see everything. This is quite a long term. This is daily chart. Every one of these candles covers 1 day of price history. So you can see the candles are really compressed. So it's a long period of price history. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. And even from here, I don't see a clear 5 waves to the upside, because if you counted wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 is not allowed to enter the territory of wave 1 here. So that's not right. That couldn't be an impulsive count to the upside. So it's telling me we're probably going to get some more chop to the downside with Dogecoin. So we've had some amazing, you can see these green candles here, an amazing run. And it may even have a bit higher to go, but I'm just saying it looks like it's not going straight to the upside. We are going to get some more downside before that happens, I believe. Here's Bitcoin, the major winner of the day. So just looking at this is the chart I showed yesterday, and I had my target here. I've been actually spouting this target for the past couple of weeks and saying to you 55,800 was the target that I had on for Bitcoin. And clearly we've exceeded that overnight. And so the reason I got that target was I measured wave 1 to wave 3 and then put 0.618 as a projection for wave 5. Now within a cycle, and a cycle here, we're talking about a 5-wave move. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in red. That is a cycle. So within a cycle, you would expect two Fibonacci relationships. So I was expecting a relationship to wave 1, but between wave 1 and wave 3, but you can just as easily get a relationship between wave 3 and wave 5, for example. You normally get an extended wave, and normally wave 3 is the extended, meaning the long wave, which is the 1.618. So interestingly, if you measure from the start of wave 3 here to top of wave 3, and then you transpose that measurement to the bottom of wave 4, then 0.618, and I'm always talking about this amazing golden ratio, 0.618, gives you the exact price that Bitcoin reached overnight. So whilst I had it projected using wave 1 to 3 and targeting here, actually the relationship was that wave 5 was 0.618 exactly of wave 3, which is again quite amazing. I missed the exact top, but I do believe there's potential here that this is certainly a local top, and I think we could fall back now. Again, from a risk-reward perspective, I think the short side is looking attractive. It's reached a really good target that I think is sustainable for the time being. Ethereum has been on a tear as well. It's been absolutely amazing. Look at it, 3,263 there. Yep. So I looked at the target for Ethereum and potentially saying this is a corrective move to the upside. And so I measured from this X wave here to the top of the A wave. So you can see I've got that measurement 100%. So that's that measurement. I just transposed that movement out to the bottom of the B wave here. And that gives me a target of 3,371. So we're close to it, maybe just a little bit higher to go, but I think we're then going to probably get a correction in Ethereum. So that's, I think, where we're at there. VET is that one that I told you about leading the way, often leads the way. And I do think that this movement we had up with VET, VeChain, is basically corrective at the moment. So we don't have any 5-wave move to the downside. We also don't have a 5-wave move to the upside. So that's telling me we've probably got an A down, a B up, and we're expecting a C down. So I'm expecting further movement down. We haven't broken that previous high there, even despite the massive pump on Bitcoin. VET didn't follow. VET's actually leading here, I believe. So I think that it's leading the way lower. And we'll just look at some of the indications that we have here on VET, just open it out a little bit for you to see. So basically, first of all, we have very clear bearish divergence. So higher highs on price and lower highs on RSI over the same period of time. So that's one indication of a potential turn. Now just look at all these candlestick patterns that we have. So for example, this is some kind, it's almost a kind of shooting star here telling of a potential top at this point, and price went down. Here we have a shooting star and price went down. Here we have a hangman candlestick, again indicating probable price movement down. That's exactly what followed. Here we have a shooting star followed by a hangman candlestick. So again, both indicating potential downward movement in price, exactly what happened. And then at the top here, we have basically a hangman followed by a kind of shooting star. It's also, it's a very bearish candlestick there. So there's a lot of indication that we're potentially looking at a downside move to come in almost immediately on that. So that's candlesticks, that's bearish divergence, and if we looked at Fibonacci extensions, that would also match. So there's a lot of indications that we're at or near the top. But don't forget, like with Bitcoin, I said, even when we're down in the 40-something thousand, 48, 49,000, I did say at the time 55 was a good target. And we exceeded slightly, but I've actually, as I say, I've shown why that happened. Let's look at what's happening with dollar index very briefly. So dollar index, again, we're always looking at what is an impulsive move. So here we've got some kind of 5-wave move to the upside, which there's no overlap with these waves. Wave 4 does not overlap wave 1, so this looks impulsive. Then we've got all this corrective sideways movement, that's a correction. Then we get an impulse, solid movement up, loads of correction. Then we get an impulse, correction, another little impulse, correction. So I think that at the moment, I don't see any reason whatsoever why we don't see more upside on dollar index. So I think there's probably more upside to come. And we'll just look in a moment at what the potential drivers for that might be. But if we get more upside on dollar index, that means we're likely to get downside on risk assets like SPX, S&P 500, like Bitcoin, like cryptocurrency. So I think that this is very corrective, choppy movement here, like every other occasion when you get choppy movement. And even on the downside, when the impulsive direction was down, you got the impulse down, you get choppy movement up, impulse down. But then we change direction, change trend, basically, impulse up, choppy sideways. So I think we've got choppy movement here, and I think we're due for an impulse up. So what might drive that? We'll look at that in just a moment. This is the S&P I featured yesterday. And I said there are lots of indicators. We have 3 Fibonacci measurements here that all coincide over different time frames at this level that we achieved. I think it was last Friday we achieved this peak here. We've got bearish divergence. We've got all sorts of indications. We've got candlestick patterns. So many indications that that's a potential short-term top. If you've taken that, if you've done a sell, you could now protect your sell somewhere here, guaranteed profit no matter what happens. So if S&P does, for any reason that we haven't considered, go through the roof, we're protected on a potential short trade there. We're guaranteed profit now if we follow this chart and traded accordingly with good risk-reward parameters. And again, we've got the bearish divergence. So a lot of indications there that in tune with all the other assets that we're looking at, potentially some downside. Could this be the driver? We've got durable goods orders coming out. The forecast is for a negative figure. We have had negative figures in previous months, and we had a positive figure a couple of months back in November. So let's just see what comes out. It's actually not what the forecast is. If it meets forecast, probably no big impact. But if it doesn't meet forecast, if it beats it or fails it, then that could have an impact on the market, because the market actually factors in what they're expecting. So if we get something that's not expected, that could actually have an impact. So durable goods is clearly a sort of barometer of what's going on with the American economy, how healthy the economy is. So that would be one to watch out for a bit later today. And I just wanted to touch 2 final things, if you've got time, just very briefly about the eBay tool, portfolio tool. It is absolutely amazing. We're launching this, the full power product we're going to be launching at the end of March. But just to show you very quickly, this is just, you can get this off the internet, basically. It's market theory. It's modern portfolio theory. It's called Efficient Frontier. And here you've got an infinite number of portfolios. So where you can put together a group of assets, and it's all it is the return of the portfolio against the risk of the portfolio. And normally, the higher the risk, the higher the return on your portfolio. But there's something called the efficient frontier, which is risk-free, and risk-free is actually counted as US Treasuries. That is counted as a risk-free product. So it's quite interesting that they're taking US Treasuries as that risk-free. And you draw a tangent to this efficient frontier, and that gives you the most efficient possible theoretical portfolio. It's amazing. This is what all fund management really is built upon. All the traditional world uses this technology and this theory, basically. But what we've done at eBay is actually build in the factors for crypto. Now, why is it so difficult? Why couldn't we do it? There's 20,000 crypto products. There's almost infinite permutations of those portfolios. So to have the computing power to do that is very difficult. But lately, we've developed some AI tools, some artificial intelligence tools, some dynamic computing tools to actually be able to deliver really accurate, ideal market portfolio. So we can actually put together the most efficient portfolio that give you the best return for a quantified level of risk. So that is absolutely amazing. And we're going to be coming out with that at the end of the month. And we've already got it running. We're testing it. It's amazing. And I just want to try to share, if I can, one final little thing just to show you on the, how this actually works, how this would look to you. So I'll go on to crypto ratings. This is the portfolio allocation tool. It actually just shows a portfolio, this kind of donut thing here. And on a day-to-day basis, it will actually show you which assets you should have within your portfolio, which assets you should remove. And this will give you the optimal portfolio that's theoretically possible on a risk-adjusted basis. So you get the best risk-adjusted return on your portfolio. And it just tells you very clearly how to allocate your portfolio. And we're actually going to be offering this free to the world. So anybody can use this for free. And it's institutional grade information. The computing power that goes into this is absolutely mind-boggling. And we're offering it for free to everybody. So once we're out with it, I hope that your community, I hope you, Bruce, and everybody will get involved in sharing this, because it's going to be free and it really empowers people to make better investment decisions with their investments, to minimize their risk and maximize their returns, again, for free. Institutions pay millions to develop these tools in-house, and we've developed it, and we're actually going to be offering it for free to everybody. And we'll have something built within the tokenomics of our token, which actually monetizes and funds what we do. But for the world, as far as they see it, this product will be free to use. And that's the news for today. And again, I really hope that we can get some feedback, share our details with your community, with you, Bruce and David, and we'd like to share this with everybody. So
that's awesome. Well, that's I know, it's so much work that has gone into putting this together. I mean, you and I even have been, we were working on this a couple of years ago. Not me.
We've actually been, thank you, Bruce, sorry to interrupt. You're absolutely right. I mean, we've been working on this for 3 years ourselves. We've actually had some university collaborations, some amazing professors involved with it. We've got an amazing research and dev team. And as I say, it's not just the theory behind it, it's actually the technology, the way it's developed with AI. We're actually been able to harness the power of AI and dynamic computing to be able to deliver this. If you looked at those combinations of portfolios, there's actually more combinations than there are atoms within the whole universe. So you can imagine the computing power that's needed to deliver this. It looks simple, a simple little donut telling you how to allocate your portfolio. It's actually amazingly powerful. No one person could really be able to deliver this sort of technology into the hands of everybody. So really excited about being able to deliver this to your community and to the world in the near future.
Well, and I can tell you guys, a personal, I was using the tool and I did really well. I mean, I like 10x'd. And all I was really doing was, when it would move from a B1 to an A1, or when I would see the movement of, and then I would buy, and if it moved down, I would sell. And it was It wasn't 100%, but it was like 90%. Like, it was ridiculous. And all you have to really do is win, more than 50% of your trades. And
Yeah.
it was really up there. So I'm pretty excited now as well. I think you guys still need to enable. I don't think my account's totally enabled, by the way.
Don't forget, we're going to launch the amazing new products, which is got this full efficient portfolio, efficient frontier built into it, and that's what we're going to share with you and share with the world at the end of March. Yeah, we'll make sure you're enabled with that tool for now, because I know it makes some good money. But what we're launching at the end of March is actually a game changer for everybody in the crypto world. So yeah, and thank you for that. Yeah, the learnhowtotrade.club and the discount code TradeSmart10. Great if we get people on there, but we're going to be offering this technology for free to everybody. So I really want to engage everybody with it, because I think it's just going to be. I love empowering people with education, with tools that aren't readily available. Get our own back on the finance world for what they did to us in 2008. The money printing, the crazy money printing, the inflation.
It is. It's been crazy money printing. The inflation is out of. It's totally out of control. It's really interesting too. With the Rothschilds supposedly passing away. My mom was funny. She's like, I thought those people didn't die. Yeah, I don't know either. 87 seems young if you have all the money in the world to keep yourself alive, but who knows? But yeah, it's crazy because 20 years ago, no one would have even hardly been talking about it. Now we're all just, everybody realizes not everybody realizes, it's still a very small amount of people, but people are starting to realize this printing of the money is causing this out of control inflation that we're all suffering from.
Yeah, and the big problem with it is I mean, it's not just inflation. If you have inflation, you can normally deal with it with higher interest rates. But the problem of printing money is it doesn't create real productivity. I know I've said it, I'm like a broken record. It does not create real productivity. It doesn't actually improve manufacturing and productivity. It just goes into asset prices, and asset prices pump. But you actually need something which builds the economy. And as we said, it's all linked together. The fact that people's wealth hasn't grown over 50 years, it's almost the same as it was 50 years ago in real terms when you take inflation into the equation. People's day-to-day living, it's only the rich people, the bankers who have been involved in the money printing and the rewards they get from it, they're the ones, it's not the ordinary people. And that's really what we're trying to, everything that we're about, and that's what all decentralization and Bitcoin is all about. That's why it was born in 2008, 2009, out of that financial crisis. So hopefully we'll level the scales a little bit with everything that we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is pretty interesting too. I saw a report this morning as I was getting ready that Satoshi, which of course is a pseudonym, I guess, or he's been really good at keeping himself hidden, who knows, is the 26th richest man right now, officially. Richest man is kind of a funny thing too, because they don't list people like Putin on there and stuff like that, but 26th richest man on the official list is Satoshi.
Yeah, and crypto is amazing because actually we might not ever get to the 20th or 26th or whatever, but actually crypto, if you handle it right and manage it right and understand a little bit about what you're doing, can potentially be life-changing in terms of wealth. But obviously it is all about understanding, you need to understand trading methodologies, the blockchain, the tokens themselves. And managing behavior. I mean, you mentioned Rothschild. He was the one who said the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And it's all about managing your emotions, isn't it, in the market? So many people have been jumping in with FOMO just at the wrong time. And you need to understand when's the right time to get in, when's not the right time, when to protect your profits, etc., etc.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course, these guys make huge moves. I mean, it's interesting. They were selling off a bunch of his assets. Actually, a bunch of the Rothschild assets. I have a quick video I can pull up just for conversations. Ignore networks manager. Let me share my screen.
This is live TV.
It is live TV, folks. It's live. We're live. Here we go. This was a little bit earlier last year. Check this out. It said the Rothschilds are selling off an extensive private collection of their heirlooms, art, historic pieces over a 2-week period. Interesting, eh? What do you think about that? There was a lot of speculation about why they were selling off so much of this stuff, that they needed cash, or why were the Rothschilds selling so much of their family heirlooms and history and everything else? And I don't think anybody really ever had a good answer for it. I don't think they needed cash. Maybe they wanted to turn it into gold, or maybe they wanted to buy Bitcoin. What do you think, David?
Yeah, they possibly traded in the real stuff for some digital coin.
They might have, right?
I could imagine the value of that is pretty stable, whereas Bitcoin, they could do a couple X's and then go buy that stuff back.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. So this is the just for people. Of course, we have people that come in and out on TV and on X and YouTube and everywhere else. This was earlier this year. The Rothschilds family sold off, I don't know, it was like billions of dollars worth of their family heirlooms.
Earlier last year, right?
That's what I meant. Did I say this year? Earlier last year. Really impressive collection here. Everyone loves this one. It's really, it's interesting that we've had such a, as Americans, of course, we always we were a little bit detached from a lot of this stuff, royal families, and the Rothschilds actually bought their way into the British royal family. Now, of course, like Dad would always say, there's nothing royal about these people. They just killed most of the other people at a certain amount of time ago. They were the biggest bully on the block. But I don't know of any other family that was able to buy their way into the British crown like that. And of course, a lot of these countries lost their royal families. They lost their houses and castles and everything else after World War I and II. They helped us win the war, and then we brought democracy, which are a great way of helping everybody. And they lost everything. Habsburgs come to mind, of course, being as our friend. But look at this stuff. So this, I still think it's quite interesting. So they sold off all their stuff, and then of course he passed away months later. I do think it is indicative of something. I don't know what. I don't know what it means. Maybe they're getting ready to leave in the alien ship.
Some people would say
that. On it. I guess we'll just watch the whole little clip here. It's pretty interesting stuff, if you ask me. And Anyway, what do you think? The Rothschilds are interesting as well. You know, we have Rockefeller Center. We have Rockefeller put his name on a lot of stuff. The Rothschilds, they didn't as much. Of course, they are with the Rockefellers. They started the U.S. private central bank, the Federal Reserve. Talked a little bit about that on the Porter Brothers show yesterday. They orchestrated with J.P. Morgan. They orchestrated the bank crash, and by many accounts, loaded up the people on the Titanic. I mean, who knows about that part? But they definitely orchestrated the bank crash, and then put in the central bank, got the Federal Reserve Act passed. So, what do you think, Matt, about the Rothschilds selling all their stuff?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, where's the money going to when they sold it all?
Right? Great question.
Yeah, I mean, I know CZ, going back to CZ, I understand that he's actually looking to giving away most of his assets, nearly all of his assets, to foundations and charities and so on. So it'd be good if the Rothschilds did that. But as you say, they orchestrated the banking crash. They've been, you know, a long-standing Jewish family that have controlled banking for many, many years. So whether they're that, you know, going to be that generous with their assets, who knows?
Seems a little far-fetched, let's be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, some interesting artistic pieces there, isn't there?
Unbelievable, really. Some really
Does
interesting.
look like the Ark of the Covenant. Is that where it is?
I don't know. So, but it's, you know what's funny about the Ark of the Covenant is Trump spent, I don't know, millions of dollars, I think, and he had a real size replica, like to the T. Like, I guess they went to the Bible and, like, you know, figured out exactly how to build it, all the gold and everything, and he has it sitting there, the full size real replica in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I mean, is this his?
What's that, David?
Oh, it's a little creepy looking, even.
Of course, it's creepy looking. I think it's kind of funny. I mean, you know me, I'm a Trump guy, but I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Matt, we won't keep you any longer. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, sorry, I was just checking because I know Trump has got some Jewish connection. Is it through his? Is it his grandson or something? I'm not sure, but he's got some. Because Trump obviously was involved in the moving of the embassy to Jerusalem. I think it's.
Oh yeah, no, his daughter, she married the guy, and he was really a disaster. He was one of the reasons why it was.
Oh, wasn't it? That's right. Yes.
Yeah, he brought the son-in-law in, and he had basically, it was almost like the son-in-law was running everything, you know. And then he went over there and made the deals with the Saudis, started the multi-billion-dollar fund. I mean, I don't know. He was a disaster, to be honest. I mean, but yeah, he's got the kids, he's got the grandkids now, and then yeah, he's pretty baked in there.
Good. Anyway, thank you so much for having me. Been a pleasure again. Let's
absolutely. We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks, David. Thanks, Bruce. All the best.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
So yeah, there you have it. I'm going to the Rothschilds sold off extensive private collection of heirlooms over a 2-week period. What do you think about that? Question mark. Pretty interesting stuff. I think that it's definitely notable that they sold off all their stuff, and then of course the guy passes away. A little bit of history of how they started. I played this. I've played this one a couple times before, but I'll go ahead and play it because it's right here on my screen. Let's see here, 37. How the Federal Reserve was started.
This is Jekyll Island, where in 1910, representatives from the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Morgans, and other private bankers gathered secretly to draft the legislation that would create the Federal Reserve. I found it revealing that in the same year the Federal Reserve was founded, 1913, the Internal Revenue Service was also established. An income tax was then instigated so you and I would have to pay the politicians' debt plus interest to the bankers.
The problem is we have a privately owned central bank system in the United States disguised as a government-owned system. Now, if you look in the telephone book here in the Washington, D.C. area, you look up for Federal Reserve in the blue government pages, it's not there. It's in the white pages right next to Federal Express. It's a privately owned central bank.
Central banks are banking Jekyll Island, where in 1910, representatives...
Central banks are banking cartels. And then it cuts off a lot of good stuff that we put together here. People are starting to get it, though. They're starting to get it. And then the question becomes, what do we do about it? How do we get ourselves out from under these banking cartels? And to do it peacefully, of course, these people are very, very powerful. Do it peacefully, then we get into the monetary revolution that David and I have been pushing for over a decade. And if you got in early, of course, it has been very life-changing what has gone on over the time. I mean, it's absolutely, we were buying Bitcoins at $70, $90, $100. Pretty crazy that it's now at this price. I'll tell you that. That work? Anyway, so we have a lot of stuff going on. Of course, I didn't talk about the Trump gag order. So Trump now has a gag order on him or they've asked this guy, Bragg in New York, has asked for a gag order ahead of this new criminal trial. So I put this up here actually before, and I said lawfare, right? And it was all Trump's court appearances. Do you remember that, David?
Oh, yeah. The Coachella list.
Yeah, right. Lawfare. Did I spell it differently? Lawfare. I don't know. Networks manager. I don't know. Anyway, not pulling it up right now. But basically, they have Trump coming into court. He's like, it's like this. He's at the time when he should be doing all types of other stuff. What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, several times a month, every month.
Yeah. So Bragg ahead of this new trial. So of course they've fined him over $400 million, and he's not able to do business in New York. And of course he's appealing that. I think though, I know everybody loves that lawyer, but I think he needs a really killer lawyer. I think he needs a lawyer that's so dirty, everybody's scared of him. He needs like the lawyer that gets off the Rothschilds. He needs a lawyer that gets off the cartels. He needs He needs the lawyer with the killer instinct. He needs the lawyer that everybody's scared of. And I say that in like the nicest and most civil way. But you don't want to go into court with some person that everybody's not scared of. You want to go into court with somebody that everyone's like, oh my God, don't cross that guy.
It doesn't seem like there was a favorable outcome.
It doesn't seem like there was a favorable outcome, David says. I'd have to agree with you. I mean, I just feel like the other side pulls every trick in the book and they're able to kind of get away with it. I feel like we should at least pull some tricks. I mean, that was actually one of the things that I always liked Paul Manafort, because Paul Manafort, and if you remember, Paul Manafort was instrumental in getting Trump elected in 2016. People were scared of Paul Manafort. A lot of you guys don't realize it. But Paul Manafort also was able to get Reagan in. They didn't want Reagan in. Sometimes you need a really strong guy that people are scared of in order to get things done. Someone who goes up and says, hey, you're not going to do any funny business with those delegates, buddy, or else. And I say that in the most civil and nice way. But I think that we need strong people, strong, scary people. We have plenty of scary people on our side. Lots of scary people. Drop bombs everywhere. All kinds of. We do all kinds of things. Anyway, that's my take. I think it's completely obviously it's unconstitutional to put a gag order on Trump ahead of a trial. You have to be able to defend yourself. You know, this isn't a banana republic yet, right? I mean, we're still having an illusion of it not being a banana republic. The man has to be able to defend himself. Getting a gag order ahead of time is unconstitutional. And again, he should have a lawyer that everybody's scared of. That's like, if you guys pull this crap, you're going to be in trouble. And I say that in the nicest and most civil way. Guys, thanks. And we'll be back on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana at 11 a.m. Texas time, 12 noon on the East Coast. We'll be streaming across X and YouTube and LinkedIn and all those other great places. David,
good luck. Good luck to all the day traders. See you later.
Got it. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.